Oh my goodness gracious, scorekeepers! It is time for another episode of The Score. Hello, everyone. I am your co host, Rocky Jones, and as always, I'm here with my two lovely co hosts. First, we have the magnificent, the marvelous, the moisturized Paige Reynolds. Hello, Paige. How are you?
Hello, hello. I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all in this season of retrogrades? We are we are all
Mhm.
out here just trying to do our best.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
God, my God,
Doing what I
today.
can on this little floating rock called Earth.
I want to get off. Get off. But I can't, and I don't. And maybe I don't because I get to spend time with the two of you, and of course Paige, and of course our beautiful, bodacious, and equally moisturized
Thank you.
Dr. Lee Bynum. Hello, Dr. Lee. How are you?
Mabu hi to both of you and my brethren and my sistren and my NB siblings in the Philippines.
Okay.
And only
Hey.
in the
Okay.
Philippines.
Mabuhay. So I take it you are watching Slays Royale.
Yes, God, honey. The mess, the mess, the mess. I'm so here for it.
I have not checked it out yet, but I'm excited.
Yes, what is this? Fill me in.
Yes, there is a brand new RuPaul Drag Race franchise. I believe this is of the international franchises number 19, I think.
Oh my God.
God
And
only knows.
it's essentially the Philippines versus the world, six Filipino queens and six other queens from other parts of the Asian diaspora. And RuPaul noting the endless amount of commentary about the underrepresentation of Asian queens has given us an all Asian queen season, hosted by my very, very, very favorite RuPaul Drag Race International host, Mama Pow. And
Really?
I love her because she is so here for the mess.
That
She is
is
in the
true.
mess.
That is
She
true.
keeps the mess going on the
She is
show.
messy as fuck. That is true.
And these girls are the I've never seen anything like it. They're letting the international girls have it. The Philippine girls.
Ooh.
They're wearing
I
them
mean, it hardly
out.
seems fair.
It's not, it's like the 1992 Dream Team. That's a sports ball reference. It's a rout. It was hurting my feelings to see that, poor queen from Belgium, struggling both with language and context, and she made the wrong statement and they voted her off immediately because the
Ooh.
show is heavy on Asian pride. And the two queens
Ooh.
who have discussed growing up in Europe and being distant from their culture and are we're probably hoping for an embrace. The other girls are like, no, you can't be here. We're not doing this. And they have voted both of them off in the last 2 weeks. Sorry, that's a spoiler, but y'all will be all right. But I'm really, really enjoying it. And RuPaul, if you're listening, and I know you are because you don't have shit else to do, but listen to me. We need an all African diasporic season. Um, don't
Yes.
make it US girls versus the world. I don't think we need that kind of route. But it's just kind of reminding me not just how much I appreciate drag, but those moments where it's full on cultural affinity across the board. Beautiful things happen when people who are not used to being able to relax into their identities because they're not always around each other. Um, when nobody has to be the only, beautiful
Hmm.
things happen. I mean, this show came because we weren't the only, right? And
Hmm.
it makes me really happy. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to being one of the permanent hosts of RuPaul Drag Race Jamaica, um, and RuPaul Drag Race Jamaica All-Stars versus the world. I'm just putting that pitch out there. I would be a wonderful, um, the hilarious Dr. Lee Bynum. Like, this is what people want to see. So,
Noted drag critic, Dr. Levi.
the Law Roach of drag. Well,
Ooh.
let me take that back because if Law is
Wait.
watching, then
Have you
I can
seen
expect a
Law
little.
on the new season of Project Runway?
I've seen
Just be,
clips,
She
honey.
is
he's a
wearing those girls
terrorist.
out.
I have
Oh my God.
those poor twins and the way he stays with his foot on their neck. It's a little uncomfortable to watch.
It's like you were on the winning team, but we just want you to know you had the worst luck on the winning team and I hated it. So you can go. You're safe, but
Or you would have won because I really liked it. There was a really nice design, but those boots, not those boots. And it was
not
like,
those
this
boots.
isn't a styling show. And he looked me dead in the face through that camera and said, it wasn't a styling show. But I am here now, and it's whatever I say it is. And I'm going to let these people have it. And that is exactly Law Roach is fantastic TV. Just
Yes,
I was just gonna
consistently
absolutely.
say
TV.
that was an
Like,
excellent choice for the Project
mm-hmm,
Runway franchise.
mm-hmm,
Absolutely.
mm-hmm.
I know them ratings are
1000%.
up.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Girl,
Yes.
Law Roach, if I were one of those designers, I would, because the last challenge, oh, I haven't seen this week's yet. I don't know if it's out. I just sort of
It's up, but I
kept,
haven't watched it yet.
okay, yeah, I haven't watched it. But last week, like they had a challenge where Law was the only judge, the only one.
Yeah.
Heidi and Nina, they were like, okay, we're gonna take the day off. Law, you can handle this. And first of all, look, we can agree to disagree, but the one that he chose to win was crazy. I'm sorry.
Can you remind me who won?
The
Oh, I
soccer
didn't
ball
like that one
outfit.
either.
No.
And I've liked everything else that guy has designed, but
Hmm. That
it
one
looked
was
like a soccer
her
ball.
ass was hanging out of the
And then
back.
that piece on her head looking like,
No.
friend.
So like Law already had me a little like side eye, but then when he made that styling comment, like you're in the bottom because the outfit is cute, but I don't like these boots. I was just like, Law, you were just doing whatever you want. And you
Whatever
know
he
what?
wants.
And that's fine. You do
Yes.
you. You do you. I'm actually not mad anymore. Because you do not like this man. You said that his you decided on the first episode, I don't like you. And so whatever you do, I'm just gonna be he said your attitude is despicable.
And he would know.
He would. He would. So I was
Mm.
just like, you know what, Law? I'm just gonna enjoy. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna appreciate your expertise in this area. And just go for it, baby. You just choose whoever you want to win. That's fine.
It, it will. Can I say though, there are a couple of these folks this season who I'm crazy about. Joseph McCrae,
Hmm.
and like I am very much into that aesthetic. I have always been a little bit more of a tight, short clothing kind of a girl, but I this big, oversized, extra fabric aesthetic. It's cute. I wouldn't wear it. And then the Jamaican lady who's on there, Belania. She's got
Belania, I
the
think.
short
Yeah.
locks. Yeah. First of all, she's so cute. Like she's just
The
absolutely
one that
beautiful.
she won, the challenge that she won, her outfit was so cute.
So
It
cute.
was probably the cutest thing. It
So
might be the
cute.
cutest thing I've ever seen designed on Project Runway. And
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's very rare that they create a new garment that I've
hmm
never seen before.
hmm
And I was just
hmm
like, okay, Belania, or whatever her name,
Whatever her name
whatever her name is.
is. Yeah. The the elder is a little bit. driving a struggle bus down a struggle street.
What's
Like
her name? Miss Ruth? Miss
Miss Gladys, Miss Edna, whomever, everything she wears is cute, but like the
hmm
format of the show, I think is throwing her because she's always like, well, I was trying to be a team player. And like, girl, you need to try to win this. What you being a team player is giving us nothing.
And it's all these one day challenges, and I just
And
feel
team
like
challenges,
and team
ugh,
challenges.
Oh,
And they
really?
showed like some of her previous work, and I was like, this is beautiful.
I
Like
mean, her
create
clothes are
something like that.
stunning.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it, it's I think it's the same idea that like, there are some queens on Drag Race who are amazing at drag, but just bad at
right.
Drag
Bad at the
Race.
show.
I think this
Yeah,
is
Mm-hmm.
it's the same sort of principle. Like they're incredible designers when they have like 2 weeks
yeah,
to design something. But like
right.
if you're literally giving them like 6 hours and no sleep and no food, like of course it's gonna look like trash.
Right. And speaking of the hometown hero is is doing great on the show, and she's also great TV. I have really been enjoying Utica. I
Mm,
enjoyed Utica on Drag Race.
hmm
But I think that and this is something we just talk about a lot anytime we're watching a reality show. Part of it is the show, and then part of it is how good are you at being on TV? And those
Yes.
people who have done a show or two before, or who at least just understand this is how a talking head works. Here is how you present yourself. I've really been looking forward to Utica because of the designs have been cute, except for the weird
That the
the
denim
yeah the
thing.
I it would have been cute on Drag Race perhaps. Sofia Vergara putting all of her largesse into that. I was like, no, that's
So,
not a
so
thing.
picture this. It's a challenge where they had to design an outfit for Sofia Vergara to wear on the red carpet.
Okay.
Utica designed a denim jumpsuit, distressed, that had a large sculptural piece coming from the bodice that was a ring that vertically stuck up that the model essentially was able to sort of poke her head through.
It looked like a speculum.
What Law said was that it looked like she is crowning.
Hmm.
She's
It,
Oh gosh, I just found a picture. Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah,
exactly what it looks like. Oh,
yeah,
A very small baby coming through a very large cervix.
yeah,
wow.
yeah. It
Yeah.
was
It
it was a
was it
lot.
was not good.
It was both a lot and way too little, but they sent the right one home because the brother who looked a little bit like Mark Anthony, like
hmm
I wasn't getting anything.
No, he was boring.
Yeah, he was just boring. And again, it's like this is a TV show. They will keep you around if you're going to keep those ratings going. We're stuck with those twins for another couple of episodes, no matter what, because they're team too much.
And one of them, like the one who's really bad at designing clothes, he annoyed me because he, like in the beginning, like he was in the bottom for the first challenge and the judges were like reading him or whatever, and he was like giving it back to them and like being like all defensive and like whatnot. And he was like, "You're not gonna tell me anything. I'm stubborn because I'm a Gemini." And I was just like, that's not what Geminis are. Geminis are the eternal students. You should be taking this criticism on. Maybe you don't agree with it, but you can't sit there and say I'm stubborn because I'm a Gemini. That doesn't make
No,
any sense.
no, you're stubborn because you're
Mm-mm.
you,
You're stubborn
and
because you're an asshole and you're
That
being a
part.
right,
dick right now.
right.
So, well, I'm excited about this season and shout
Me
out to Law
too.
Roach. Come on the
Yes.
show.
Come on this show, get us together.
Yo, please get us together. Please do. I will spend some money on a new outfit. It'll be a wonderful excuse.
hmm hmm
But today, I'm so excited because we have a fabulous guest.
Fabulous.
fabulous guest, friend of the show, who actually has been on the show before,
Mhm.
way
Way
back
back.
in the
Back in the
day. I
Season?
day.
think first season, she was
Yeah.
on our Juneteenth
Yep.
panel, excuse me. But the amazing Tanya Denise Fields is going to be with us.
Yay!
Yes. Brr, brr,
Um,
brr,
brr, brr, brr, brr.
brr.
But while we wait for her, I thought it might be fun. I have my icebreakers here. Shall we do a
Oh,
quick
Yeah.
little round of icebreakers?
let's do it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's find a good one. Oh, here's one. I like this one. Ready?
Yes.
What was the best party you've ever been to?
Oh, this is easy. My
Okay.
21st birthday party. Um, and I'll tell you what made it good. So this was junior year of college, and at Columbia, about two-thirds of the class would go away for study abroad. So I had made a bunch of new friends that year and was like hanging out with new people. And then an old friend who I hadn't seen in a couple of years just kind of like stumbled over to us, and it was already my birthday. It was like the day of my birthday, and we were just kind of just like drinking and trying to figure out, are we going to go out that night? And my friend was like, "Oh, and today is your birthday. I'm going to throw you a birthday party. My parents are out of town. His parents
Oh.
lived in a like his parents were one was an attorney, the other was a federal judge, and they had a super cute apartment on Riverside, like one of those, the whole floor. And we like just had a party in their gorgeous apartment. We were drinking their liquor, and it was a very interesting cross section of people who I had known. And Julia Stiles of Save the Last Dance fame came to the party and was just like a regular, cool, normal college student cutting up and talking shit. And the whole thing was just a lot of fun because it wasn't the group of people who I thought I'd be spending my birthday with, but it was a reminder of I live in New York and it is a city of endless possibilities. And you never know when a random movie star from art humanities will just show up in your party and just kind of like when she came, this obviously was 100 years ago, but she was famous then too. So she
Hmm.
came and everybody just immediately turned up. Like she walked through the door and everybody was like, "Hey!" Because we were already wasted at that point. And it was just a lot of fun. And when I woke up the next day at like 4 in the afternoon, I was like, this is what 21 feels like.
Hmm.
That's a good
That is a
one.
good one. That is a good one. I only had one interaction with her while I was at Columbia. We had a conversation at the West End, and I don't think she was impressed with me, even though I was wearing leather pants. But, that's fine.
Uh, well, I think mine is this one I think this was a two like joint birthday party that I was having with one of my housemates. It was my first living situation outside of college. So after graduating from Howard and I was still in DC and I had moved into this um very very leftist, very crunchy kind of group house in in Mount Pleasant. And it was with like all folks who I had not gone to school with. I just happened to find them on maybe like I don't know, Craigslist or something like that.
Is
Ended
this
up
the
being a great
same?
situation.
Is this the same house that we figured out that my friend and lived in a couple of years before you did?
I think so.
That's
I
crazy.
think so. Yeah.
Shout out to Kate
So,
Farquhar. Hope you're doing good.
aw. That house had some really good energy. Just like
Hmm.
I think it was just all the people throughout the years who had come through and had made it like really a community space. So yeah, it was a very different crowd from who I was used to hanging out coming from an HBCU, you know. I was only Black person in the home. Yeah, so of course I was like, what is this gonna give? But it was lovely. It was wonderful. And then when it came to my birthday, um one of my housemates there was their birthday too. It was like I don't know, days right next to each other. We decided to have a house party. And I, of course, like invited a bunch of my friends. Everyone in the house invited some of their friends. So similar to Lee, it was an interesting cross section of people who would not normally maybe be hanging out together. And it was such a good time. One of my housemates was a DJ. Shout out to John. I loved talking about music with John. And so he played really good music. Of course, there was food. And I just remember this one point at which I have like a bunch of friends from Howard or friends from like who lived in DC, all Black, to be explicit, some hood niggas in there too, you know? And like, so a bunch of the hood niggas and the hippies had gone up to my room to have a little smoke, you know? And I just
As you
remember,
do.
I just remember like everybody like talking politics and stuff. And like that is the image that I get when I think of that party is like everyone like sitting on the bed and on the floor of my bedroom, just like having a joint and getting to know each other and like chopping it up over a lot of common ground, you know? So it was a beautiful time. And I think we also had a part of the party was a fundraiser for indigenous activists who were resisting that would have been the Dakota Access Pipeline at the time.
Hmm.
So we raised some money and sent it towards them. And it was just all over a wonderful party. I haven't had a good house party in a long time.
Well,
It's been too
that's what
long.
happens in your 30s and 40s. Like, you're not coming into my house. I'm so sorry. And if you do, you will be out by 9. Oh my goodness, both of those parties sound like so much fun. I'm deciding between two. But I think I'm gonna go with my 30th birthday. Um, just because being the young, nubile. Don't look at me like that. Gorgeous young creature that I am. I don't like aging and I don't do it well. And so I had been, freaking out about turning 30 for, months beforehand. Just like, I cannot believe that this is happening to me. I'm old and decrepit and my life is over. I guess I should learn how to knit or something because I'll never have fun ever again. And so all of my friends know this about me. They had to have a surprise party for my 25th birthday because I was just in the fetal position listening to Elliott Smith full blast because I could not handle the idea of turning 25. So 30 was a lot, but it ended up being so wonderful. My best friend Russell, may he rest in peace, organized the whole thing. They just, did all of the things that I like. They rented a karaoke room. They took me out and got me nice and wasted beforehand. And people like flew in from out of town from different, you know, parts and phases of my life. Disparate groups like people I went to school with, people I worked with. Um, and it was just this really, and then we went out and we went dancing afterwards on U Street. And it was just this feeling of just love and support and, mess, of course, to sort of usher me into this sort of new phase of my life. And of course, that weekend, I fell madly in love with a boy um, that I met on Grindr, and then he ghosted me 2 weeks later, and I said,
Oh.
I'm not dealing with boys anymore, ever again. I'm working on myself. And so that, you know, inspired a renaissance, a rockessance, if you will. Which then 6 months later, I met my husband. So,
Oh.
yeah, so
Aw.
it was this beautiful moment of like, oh my God, I'm so anxious about this. And then feeling all the love and support from the people that I love the most and like a whole lot of liquor. And getting to sing at the top of my lungs, Mariah Carey. Um, yeah, it was just awesome. And then, like, honorable mention to a party that I attended at James Madison University, where I got to meet a lot of really amazing musicians and sit at their feet and learn from them. And until like, 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was just a really incredible, awesome time, which I will detail at some point later. But yeah, parties are fun, huh? We should have a party.
We
Figure out some
should.
sort of excuse for some sort of party.
We would throw a good party.
Yeah.
I think we would with our powers combined.
Exactly. We would all draw like really good people, good vibes. Yeah.
I think we should do it.
Well, you know what I'm excited for?
What's that?
This party we're about to have with Tanya.
Yay!
All right, well, we will be right back. Cannot wait for this conversation. It's gonna be so fun, and y'all are really gonna enjoy it and really gonna love her. So we'll be right back with Tanya Denise Fields.
And we're back. And we are so excited because we have a very, very, very special guest with us today. And I have to tell you,
Yes.
this conversation has literally been years in the making. We have been trying to get this lady back on the show for a minute, but she is the hardest working woman in show business. So it's finally just happening today. Um, so I'm going to read her bio, and you'll have to give me a second because it is long and juicy, like we love our bios to be. All right. With us today is the great Tanya Denise Fields, the founding executive director of the Black Feminist Project, and one of my oldest and dearest and most favorite friends ever. So
That's
let
so
me tell you
sweet.
all about her. Inspired by her experiences as a single working mother living in a marginalized community, Tanya Denise Fields founded the Black Feminist Project, formerly the Black Project, in 2009 as a response to sexist institutional policies, structurally reinforced cycles of poverty, and harsh inequalities in wealth and access to capital that result in far too many women being unable to rise out of poverty and sustain their families. Let that sink in.
Hmm.
The group's work has been covered by the New York Times, MSNBC, the New York Daily News, and numerous other print and digital platforms. Tanya's numerous fellowships and commitment to professional development has connected her with a national cohort of social change agents. With a bachelor's in political science from Baruch College and a talent for public speaking, blogging, and singing, Tanya has become a sought after public speaker and a beloved social media figure. She provided widely praised keynote speeches at the 2012 Just Food Conference, the City University of New York, the School for Professional Studies, the Marion Institute's Connecting Through Change Conference, and the Green Thumb Conference go together, just to name a few. She has served on several plenary panels, led and facilitated workshops across the country, and prior to the Black Feminist Project, she worked with several high-profile environmental organizations located in the South Bronx, including Mothers on the Move, Sustainable South Bronx, and the Majora Carter Group. My God, this is like a retrospective of the 20 years that we've been friends, just going through all the many, many places we've worked, but I'm going to save that good stuff for a little bit later. With the heaping amount of humor and a dash of sass, a dash makes it sound like it's a small amount. Let me reread that accurately. With a heaping amount of humor and a heaping amount of sass, Tanya teaches viewers how to cook affordable, diverse meals with gourmet flair. Her episodes and Facebook Lives are popular and attract attention with the food world and beyond. She is a sometimes writer, previously writing a column on food and food justice for Ebony Magazine, giving astute commentary on radical Black motherhood, and fashions herself as a ratchet feminist. She has also contributed a chapter to the book The Next Eco Warriors by Emily Hunter and has been cited in many other academic and educational texts. You can find her and the Black Feminist Project and Mama Tanya's Kitchen on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, she's all over the Food Network. And I also have to say, Tanya is the only person whose uterus I did not crawl out of that I ever think to text on Mother's Day because she is such an extraordinary mother. Her children are absolutely lovely. Please welcome Tanya Fields.
Oh,
Yay!
Oh my God, listening to your bio is like, I'm like trying, I want to sink into this bench here. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm like, me, I did that word.
you sure
And
did.
I'm also, and there's also some things where I'm like, oh, I got to add this thing to my bio too. I forgot to add that. Let me tell them about the New York Times bestseller, You Are Your Best Thing. If we going to talk about me, let's talk about it all the way. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it all the way. But I am excited to be here. Thank y'all for having me. This is wonderful.
Thank you all.
So what we talk
Thank you
about?
so
What we
much.
talk about?
Yes.
What's the tea, honey?
You are the tea. You are the moment. I know when I first reached out, it's because I really wanted to talk about Cardamom and Thyme, but I
Yes,
think to that point,
which we'll be serving tea too. But the good side.
Yes.
I think our viewers kind of want to hear about you. Like, what is inspiring you and your work in the moment? Like, obviously, what's happening in DC and all over the world is giving all of us a lot to think about, a lot to care about, a
Yeah.
lot to be upset about. But where are you? What are you doing? And how are you making change?
So I'm still in the South Bronx. I'm still with my people, gang gang. Um, what is giving me inspiration right now? The resilience of the human spirit of people who want to be on the right side of history, particularly Black folks who are turning inward right now and saying, we tired of getting our ass beat on the front line. We told y'all this shit was happening. Y'all fucked around and found out. And now the way that we are resisting is by making sure that we go back to our communities and we do the caretaking. And so that is what Cardamom and Thyme is about. Cardamom and Thyme. Y'all like that segue, right? I finesse
I
it.
love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. That was
Mm-hmm.
smooth. That was real
It
smooth.
That
was
was
good.
real
It was
smooth. It was
good.
like butter, honey. I surprised the shit out of myself. I was like, ooh, bitch, we might be ready for anchorship. But
Been ready. What?
and is I think for me, um, right now, Cardamom and Time Social Justice Cafe is really about making sure that we understand that mutual aid is the way forward, right? That we are understanding that when we talk about evolution, social evolution, it isn't just that, isn't about this sort of like white supremacist framed hierarchy. The strongest survive, and the strongest is predicated on who can enact or the most violence, and for those of us who are being oppressed, who can gracefully navigate and absorb the most violence, that we understand that our evolutionary process, right, and our strength is going to come from understanding that we have to dismantle certain systems and that we got to take care of ourselves, and taking care of ourselves and each other is going to be rooted in mutual aid. And mutual aid is not just send $300 to this particular cash app so this person doesn't get their phone cut off. Mutual aid is actually about creating systems of care, creating communities of care. You know, I started this work as a environmental justice activist. I would say I'm still an environmental justice activist, right? Because we have this belief that we've got to save the planet. Honey, the planet don't need to be saved. She good. She like, y'all go ahead and keep fucking around. Y'all bitches will melt.
Yeah, when she's ready, when she's done with us, she will let us know.
Right. Y'all will melt, and there will be some other dominant species. I don't know, whales. I heard octopuses are arranging themselves in the deep sea or some shit. Who knows? Maybe roaches. God knows you can't ever get rid of them bitches. So whatever it is, they like the earth is going to pivot and work with whatever condition she's got to work with. We're not saving the earth. We're saving ourselves, right? Environmental justice is about saving ourselves. And I think we need to call a thing, right? Like we use these terms like, oh, we're going to save the planet, right? Like as if we are in any position to save the planet, right? The sheer arrogance that we save in the planet, right? When the planet is the one that provides, we're saving ourselves. And so, you know, but we have all of these categories: food justice activists, environmental justice activists, reproductive justice activists. I am just trying to be a self-aware human in the world who understands that we are part of an ecological system. And being part of an ecological system, I ain't never seen a capybara or a bat or even a house cat go pay for no motherfucking food. There's no Whole Foods that the capybaras go roll up to when they need to eat, right? They figured out whatever the system is part of the ecological system to feed themselves. And so for us, you know, as the most evolved mammals, allegedly, food is a human right. And so for me, I am thinking about what subversive systems can we create in our communities where people can have access to farm to table organic seasonal food when appropriate and when accessible in capitalism for using what I call a subversive payment model. So what that means is that nobody ever comes to those doors and hands me $20 to get a panini and a cup of coffee. The Cardamom Thyme Social Justice Cafe is couched in the Alice Fields Community Center for Black women, girls, and marginalized genders. It's a lot. We just call it the Alice Fields Community Center. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to remember the rest of it. Just know we out here. We outside. So in the community center, we have the Fannie Lou Hamer Freedom Boutique. We have the Asada Shakur Reading Room. We have a podcasting studio. Some podcasts coming your way. You know, in the bio, Lee did not also talk about how they're the board chair of my organization. So we will have a deeper discussion on the podcasting studio. By the way, board chair, I just bought some I bought some podcasting equipment so we can finally do the damn thing. And so what happens is we see the Social Justice Cafe as part of that ecological system. And so when people become a part of the ecological system, they become members, they donate to the Fannie Lou Hamer Freedom Boutique, which is free. People can come and shop in the Freedom Boutique. We just had since we like soft launched, we just had our first customer, and she went online and she made an appointment, and then she came in. And like a rich bitch from the Upper East Side, she got to flit around and shop, you know what I mean? Without having to navigate a whole bunch of craziness. And at the end of that, she took pictures with her stuff and she was like, this was an amazing experience. I was like, I know. That's what I do.
I love that.
Because working class people and poor people are inherently worthy of nice things. I don't give a fuck what capitalism has got y'all out here believing. All right. Your social standing and status does not predicate whether or not you should be treated with care and lovingness and ease and softness. And I'm a Virgo and I like nice shit. So, and I think we should do nice shit. So, when I'm out here doing my activism, I'm doing my activism with a touch of nice shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's go out here and resist and be motherfucking fly while we do it. And the reality is, like, we don't need to make another piece of clothing. Textiles is also contributing to a hotter, right, world, a more inhospitable world. We need no more fast fashion, right? We can start to circulate the things that we have in our community, because the reality, the gag, honey, the gag is we have what we need. And so let's go back to our ancestral memory and think about the ways in which we provided for each other that didn't use this very extractive model of capitalism. So she came in, she shopped, people can come in and they can shop. And so if you contribute to that ecological system by bringing things in, then you will get what we call cardamom bucks, right? Our programming is opening up in September. We're starting with our book club, and I will be facilitating All the Black Girls Are Activists by Dr. Ebony Janice Moore. I'm waiting on my books now. So people will come in, they will get a free copy of the book, and we will discuss that. If you come in and you want to co-facilitate with me, if you want to run off questions, well, then I'm going to give you cardamom bucks. The organization's going to give you cardamom bucks. You can then take the cardamom bucks to the social justice cafe and you can purchase food. If you're a person who like, look, I heard about you on the podcast. I got on the train. I came up here. I don't got enough for you. I just want to donate to the organization. Great. You donating $20? Well, we're going to give you 40 cardamom bucks. We're going to match your donation. So you never actually paid for your food. What you did was put, right, the thing that we need in capitalism in the pot so that we can get access to some of the resources that we need to keep these doors open, right? And then we are saying we're going to undergird that by understanding you needed to eat regardless, right? And so we match your donation. And so what this does is that it instills in people that our worth goes beyond some arbitrary value put on our productivity, right? And productivity is valued in all of these very arbitrary ways that reflect very oppressive systems, right? I don't think that the person who's working the fries at McDonald's is any more productive than me as the executive director of this organization. It's just a really fucked up and weird way to look at the value of human beings, whether or not a motherfucker deserves to eat, have quality housing, live in a safe community. Like, I just, right now I am in this space where I'm looking around like gobsmacked. I am confused. I'm like, y'all, has capitalism also stamped out our radical imagination? Because we could be doing something else than this. Like, nigga, I want to be like weaving baskets with my lovers by the creek to some shit. I want my daughters of the dust. There is no
Yes.
like, bitch, let me braid your hair. What you doing in place? And I don't want to have to schedule it in my motherfucking calendar. Let's meet at the creek at 2 and braid hair. Like, let's just the fuck? Like, can we just move with the ease of the day? Can we move with the ease of the ecological system? I live in New York City. I was telling somebody that from November until February, we're not open. Bitch, I'm eating, I'm resting, I'm working out, I'm getting fucked. Like, that's what I'm doing, right? Because, like, it is let me keep it 100. Blow my back out. It's cold outside. Knock the sonic rings out of me. That's what I'm trying to do. And so, because that is what the ecological system around me is telling me. It is a time of reproduction, although ain't nothing coming out of my motherfucking uterus. But,
in theory,
we can reproduce a lot. It doesn't have to be literal, right? It is a time of restoration and renewal, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what the birds, the bees, the bears, that's what everything in the Northeast corridor told me we're supposed to be doing. And as a part of the ecological system, I need to be doing that too. Because we know when March comes, it is time to sow, right? It is time to till, right? And again, I don't mean these things literally. For me, it's actually quite literal. Like I gotta go and take these motherfuckers and dig in the soil. I don't know what we doing out here, y'all. This is a delusion. I don't know why I keep maintaining this. I break a nail like twice a week. I know my nail tech is tired of me. And so, you know, for the rest of us, though, it may not be quite as literal, right? But this is a time where you should be thinking about strategy, where you should be self-reflecting. You should be thinking about what is my harvest going to look like in this season, right? And let's think about harvest quite broadly. And so people are like, for real? You don't know, nigga, it don't work unless it's just a bag. Somebody calls me, it's like, do you want to do this thing? And it's going to net you some money with a comma in it. Okay, let me come on about this cave from hibernation. We still live in capitalism. And T-Mobile is not trying to hear that shit when I be on the phone. So we're moving with the ecological system. They be like, you better move some money into this motherfucking account if you want service. So, you know. And so I try to, as much as I possibly can, allow the earth, right, and what is around me to inform me about how I move in community with it, because we are in community with our environment. We do not dominate it as much as we believe that we do as humans. We don't. And so, you know, when we close down, and I'm thinking about that, like for us, we're moving into 2026, really trying to launch the cafe. Like right now, we're kind of having these pop-up cafes where every Saturday we have what we call like open play, where people can come into the community center. They can choose from any number of board games. They can, you know, they can make an appointment to go into the boutique. They can just lounge around. We have some little toys for children and stuff. I mean, I guess you can bring a little badasses too. No, I'm joking. I love the babies. And so we've made the space also very child friendly. People then can go into the cafe and do it and gather, you know, what they need. Our menu is very small and niche because we are trying very much to stay as local as possible. We have our farm because the Black Feminist Project, which runs Cardamom Thyme, which runs Appleseed Community Center, also runs an urban farm. It's 400 square foot lot that we advocated for like 7 or 8 years to turn into a urban farm. We have 50 badass chickens that provide us with eggs that we will be using, that we have been using in the cafe. We have something like 15 fruit trees. We would have had 17 if our neighbors, our raggedy ass neighbors, hadn't stolen them.
Oh no.
Trifling.
Paige, I was just about to use that word, I swear to God. Because even in community, it's always some trifling motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be avoided. I'm not gonna try to intellectualize it. I'm not gonna politicize it. Motherfuckers be trifling. Put it on a t-shirt.
Maybe that's the episode title.
That is the episode title. Motherfuckers be trifling. And so we had a trifling motherfucker or motherfuckers come in and steal one of our Italian plum trees and a whole ass cherry tree.
No.
It happens though, right? And so we have something like 15 fruit trees, peach trees, cherry trees, fig trees, pear trees, apple tree. I'm a regular fucking Johnetta Appleseed out here, okay? I'm like, some motherfuckers. What are you talking about? In the middle of the Bronx, on a dead-end street. It is amazing the way that my neighbors will come in and never volunteer but strong arm me into giving them fruit when it's in the harvest. I had a lady come yesterday. She was like, "Mommy, you selling the chickens?" I said, "No, miss, I'm not going to sell you my chicken." She said, "Let me get some pears." I said, "The pears are not ready." She said, "No, it's okay. I take them anyway." I said, "Miss, come back in 2 weeks. The pears are not ready." "No, mommy, let me get some pears." I said, "Fuck." So I'm out there picking pears for this woman. And while it may be annoying in the moment, it is deeply humbling to know that my neighbors can come outside and be like, sis, let me get some pears off the tree on 163rd Street. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
And
also going to be
so,
humbling though when she tries to eat them hard ass unripe pears. So,
ma'am, ma'am, breaking up your motherfucking teeth. And so we have now shifted the farm to start growing specifically for the cafe, so that we are now creating this very sort of micro niche boutique. I like these types of words. These are words that real estate that people use when they gentrifying your neighborhood. Versioning, you know. So instead of being like it's coming from our small ass farm, I'm like it is coming from a boutique. We're doing a boutique farm to table food model. And so our fruit, and I am working with this amazing woman named Erin Lang, who is giving us guidance around how to create a boutique and niche workforce development program that targets specifically trans youth, trans Black youth. So they will come in eventually and run the boutique, run the center, run the cafe. That is going to be fun. Child, the Bronx is not ready. Because when the girls get in there, when the girls start running this space, honey, it's going to eat down. It's going to eat down, honey. They are going to give that whole community fever, right? But it is about creating courageous, because I don't think I believe in safe spaces. It is about creating courageous spaces for Black women and girls and non-men, right? Because gender is expansive. That does provide some sense, some safety, but also give us the ease and softness to dream. Our current systems keep us in survival mode. And if you've done even just a little bit of reading and research, The Body Keeps Score. What's the other one by Sabrina? Lee, I know you know this, right? What is it? Something the Black Bodies? Tell me, Lee. Somebody tell me. I know y'all know this.
it'll come
You know
to
what I'm
me.
talking about, right? Yes. Make an annotation for your readers, because for your listeners, because I want them, when I go look it up, I will send it to y'all so that y'all can, in your podcast annotation, I want y'all to reference these pieces, because it's really important for people to inform themselves of the play. And
Fearing
I'm a
the
nerd.
Black Body?
Yes,
Yes.
that's it.
That one.
Yeah. Sabrina
That's it.
Stringer,
Yes.
something like that.
Fire. Yep.
Mhm. Right?
Sabrina Strings.
Thank
Right.
you. Yes.
And so what that does is it informs us around how these things live in our body in a somatic way, right? How our nervous system is regulated or dysregulated, what that looks like for us neurologically, and then emotionally, what does that output when we go out into the world? And then this ripples out, right? Because this informs how we create interpersonal relationships with each other. This is how we govern. This is a place from which we govern, right? This is the place from which we resist or not. And so I think that it's really important for us to create spaces that help us to reset and re-regulate our nervous systems. And we are not being, I don't know why suddenly this country has decided that 1% of the population is responsible for all of the ills that are in it.
Right.
I just don't understand why we got our mouths on trans people. It's insane to me.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And it would be one thing to be like, I don't believe in it. I mean, they're not fucking tooth fairy. They're human beings. You don't have to believe in it, but whatever. Fine, whatever. I don't believe in skinny jeans, but you know, the fuck, it didn't stop any of y'all basic ass motherfuckers from wearing them. So here we are. But it's beyond that. It is the intentional targeting, right, and goal of erasure through violence, right, through displacement, and I think that if I am going to say that I am in these spaces as a leader, I have a responsibility to create spaces. And if I'm going to say that Black Lives Matter, then I have a responsibility to understand that means all of them, not the ones I just agree with, not the ones that I just believe in, you know what I mean? Not the ones that are palatable to me, not the ones that conform to respectability politics. It's all of them. And I also have to have an analysis that understands that those of us who are the most marginalized, who are the most at danger, deserve the most care and protection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that is obvious. There's Black trans youth, hands down. And so we wanted to, and part of that is understanding that transness is what intentionally keeps folks from being able to be employed. It funnels them into sex work and sex trade that may not be consensual, right? Because there's a whole other conversation around sex work that for me is not couched in criminalization or respectability politics or shame or judgment.
Absolutely.
You know, I think I've taken a wrong 100%. Turn somewhere. I should be popping pussy somewhere. I don't know why I'm doing any of this other shit. Like, and I do need to have multiple streams of revenue. So I am considering what's available to me right now. But when people are funneled into that, when sex work is also a reflection of marginalization and subjugation and oppression, you got to have a realistic analysis of why so many trans youth, right, minors, are ending up in the trade and being trafficked. Let's call it what it is. A 15-year-old cannot be a sex worker. They can't consent. And so it was, to me, it was not, there was no question about who we needed to create safe spaces for. So yeah, I want to. Yeah, I could just do a stream of consciousness all day with y'all.
And we would
just love it. And we would just listen and record.
And we could just listen. The trans youth workforce development is so big because you are so right. Like, I know so many people who that is like one of their biggest life struggles. And it's not that they don't have skills or have like no desire to do stuff. It is literally just transness that makes finding a job and keeping a job really hard, or even being able to get the training that they want. And I think a lot about like the importance of third spaces too. Like, where can community just be together? And what I love about your work and how you move through the world is that you have this internet presence, you know, and like the internet can have like it be its own kind of third space. It's kind of weird, but like you're building the in-person ones too, like the physical community that people need. They need a place where they could just kick it or just shop or like run into their neighbors, or run into the person with the apple trees and they give me a couple and whatnot. Like I just love hearing that. And that's another thing that's especially, I think, needed for everybody, but I've noticed needed among youth who's like growing up with this heavily social media influenced world, internet influenced world. Like, what are the other spaces that they can go to outside of that to find belonging, to find people who like see you for real and not just on a two-dimensional screen. So like I wonder how you hold that balance too, being like so present on the internet and like having these deep intentional in-person like projects that are impacting communities in real life, you know?
Right. So I am one of those people call introverted extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
I had somebody one time tell me they felt like they got personality catfish when they met me in person. Because they was like, bitch, you are dissociative and standoffish. Yes, hello. But you know, the internet is curated. I curate my presence, right? It has to have a purpose for me as well. Because people on the internet are fucking weird. They create parasocial relationships because we actually don't have in real life third spaces in a lot of ways. The internet has become a third space, and I actually think that's a misstep, right? And so people bring these personas and a certain level of anonymity to these spaces. And it's just not a real place, even if it has real impact on our lives, right? It's not a real place. And so for me, there was a time where I was an oversharer. I thought Facebook was my therapist and those types of things. I'll be looking back now like, girl, the fuck? Why are you telling the people your business? And so for now, when I come on, I think that I have mastered this ability to be able to take what is happening for me in a very general but personable way and then connect it to a larger commentary on something that is much more broad and much more relatable. But I'm not giving y'all the ins and outs of my motherfucking relationship. I'm not talking to y'all about how I'm struggling with my children. I'm not getting ready to tell y'all about the ways in which I resent, like personally resent mothering and capitalism. Hate, like, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not gonna, as a Black woman, I'm not gonna get on the internet and engage in trauma porn or bleed all over the place. And I also understand that people are coming to it and they don't have the same analysis. We do not share community. We have not agreed upon how we are going to engage with each other. So this is why I can't go someplace and in a thread, right, and have a political discussion and disagree with somebody, and they'll call me, you know what I mean? They'll be like, that's what the fuck you think big nose training, which is what the kinds of awful things that people have said to me, right? Use transgenderness as a pejorative, right? But also feeding into this idea that because I am a larger bodied woman, you know, I stand at almost 6 feet tall, I'm 10, you know, 185, between 185 and 200 pounds, depending on the time of the year. You know, I have dark skin with a sharp jawline, and somebody assigned masculinity to that. And because transphobia requires that we never see trans women as actual women, we only see them as men in dresses, then it seems natural to accuse me of that, right? Because you disagreed with me about some shit. Like, we don't personally know each other. Like, what? And so I engage with the internet actually in a way that is not very reciprocal. So my presence is like, I'm come on here, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm giving y'all commentary that's got background music. Like, come on, let's be fucking for real. Like, I'm curating this, and I'm gonna throw it up there, and I may or may not get notifications depending on my D&D on or whatever. And then I come back and I go through some of it, and the vast majority of it I ignore. And then there might be some things depending on where I'm at, you know, how I'm feeling that day, if I'm going to engage. But I never get on the internet thinking that I'm going to be able to engage with people in good faith. And I think my ability to let that go and just say, I said what I said, right? And unless there is a call in from people who I actually see as community in that space, as an invitation for me to rethink a perspective or a call in about something that I have done and I've engaged in that's got an ism at the end of it, right? Or obia at the end of it. For the most part, fuck them people. Like, I came here, this is like, I came here, this is what I got. If it resonates for you, wonderful. If it doesn't, whatever. But it is a digital reflection of how I exist in the world. That's it. And I don't take the rest of that shit too seriously. You know, somebody the other day called me a fucking troglodyte. I was like, I mean, okay, whatever. Bonus points for you for using your little SAT word. Well, oh, I don't know you. Why'd you here?
Well, I know our time is limited today, and so I want to be mindful. But I also want to make sure that we get all of the information about all of the important work that you're doing out there. So if somebody wants to,
because my gummy just kicked in.
Okay.
Yes.
So how can if somebody wants so if somebody wants to get involved, what do they do? Where do they go? How can they donate? All that,
so I told
all that
you
fun stuff.
I was an oversharer, so
No.
all my business is on the internet. It's not hard to find. If you type in Tanya Denise Fields, you're gonna get my personal page on Instagram. That's where I talk the most shit. If you follow the Black Feminist Project, we are a little less, definitely much less active organizationally, because a lot of our stuff happens in the background. And also we do a lot of mutual aid, and I am unwilling to use people's circumstances as a there's something icky to me to be like, we just gave this amount of mutual aid to this as a form of letting people know that we're doing the work. Like, if you trust that I'm doing the work, and you don't, like I just said, fucking people. So, but you can, if you want to be in the know when we are updating and when we are informing, folks can go to the Black Feminist Project on Instagram. Our website is theblackfeministproject.org. We actually, right now, we are in a bit of a fundraising thing. We've had some, this mouth has consequences. So we've lost some funding because I've said some words like Free Palestine, Free Haiti, Free Sudan, and we saw some of our funders drop us. And so it is now really important. I mean, that's capitalism.
Yeah.
I mean, it is definitely in the moment. Lee and I have had some moments where I be crying on the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that Friday, he's like, well, you gonna cry when you get in the car.
I remember
crying.
that.
I be crying outside the car and on the internet and at the meetings. I don't give a shit. It's hard being out here, and I'm a human being, and I'm sensitive about my shit, and this stuff impacts my body, and I'm honest about that. But also, in true Virgo fashion, I'm like, bitch, you got 2 hours. You got 2 hours, and then we have things to do. The internal dialogue of myself is like, that doing this work is going to cost you something. If you didn't come to it ready to give up something, then you shouldn't be doing this work. It's not for you, baby. That's okay. You can go find something else to do. And so I know, right? And it is my responsibility to then be like, okay, so how do I navigate those spaces? So right now, the way we're navigating it is that we are being honest about that, being very transparent, and we are really asking people in a very real way to donate. And that's hard for me, right? As a marginalized Black woman, I have some serious narratives around money that makes it very difficult for me on a personal level to donate, to fundraise. It always feels like begging for me. And interestingly enough, on TikTok, somebody's like, you ain't fundraising, you begging. I was like, be that as it may, you got 10 on it? Is you donating or not? I mean, since I'm begging, can you please donate $10? The fuck? Like, I don't give a shit what you call it. The outcome needs to be the same. And I don't give a shit about what stigma you place on it. That is an internal dialogue I need to have daily to steel myself against how hard that can feel on my chest and in my heart. Because I'm human and I'm soft. I'm a baby. Don't let this mouth fool you. I'm a little baby. Talk to me nice. So yeah, you can find me there. Y'all can donate there. I'm basically saying, leave a little money on the nightstand, nigga. We need it. I'm doing good shit, and I don't want to have my fundraising be anchored in the continued trauma and performance of trauma and lack of Black women for folks. I'm doing innovation. I'm talking about a cafe where people are subverting normal capitalistic models, right? I am creating that soft third space for us, right? Y'all bitches out here talking about soft life. Okay, well, come on, put your money where your mouth is. Soft life, bitch. Uptown, we need soft life too. And so the Alice Fields Community Center is an extension of that. And so I want people to see that and believe in that and be in community with that and invest in that. And so, holla at me. I'm outside. I did this whole podcast at the bathhouse. I'm about to give me some chicken wings and take my ass upstairs to work poolside in my bikini.
Yes.
Rain.
Okay.
And so, I am being undergirded by joy right now. This is when I need it the most. This is what I would leave people with. That in these times that feel the darkest, remember the light always comes in the morning, and it is always the darkest before the light comes. Remember that.
Mhm.
And remember that while the world may feel like it's going to shit, if we see each other as reflections of each other, then we're always able to capture these very small but very significant moments of joy, right? And if we also see each other as places where we can create joy, then we might be all right. You know what I mean? We might have a fighting chance. Like these motherfuckers may not put us all the way in the ground for the next like 10 years, right? So yeah, I thank y'all for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, this was so fun. And
Yeah,
all of those
absolutely.
links will be in the show notes. Please,
Mhm.
please, please go leave some money on the dresser, because this is such an important project and we want it to succeed and we want Tanya to succeed and we want
Absolutely.
this has just been such a beautiful conversation, and I think we can all agree that perhaps this was our pure black joy for the week.
Very much so.
I am leaving with joy in my heart. Yep, I am.
Well, everybody, make sure that you tune in 2 weeks. We're going to be continuing our RuPaul's Drag Race series. This coming week, though, we're going to be re-releasing the art class episode with Stephanie Dinkins, which
Oh,
is one of my favorites ever. So check that out. Make sure that you review. Leave us a review, subscribe, tell your friends about the show, tell your friends about Tanya, tell your friends about Cardamom Thyme and the Black Feminist Project. Thank you, Tanya, so much for being here. And does anyone have any words of wisdom for the people before we go?
oh, I've got one. Tanya has a cat named Meowcus Garvey. And
Okay.
that entertains me in a way that I can't even.
No. First of all, I have several cats.
Several
Meowcus, Meowcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman, Meowcome X. Wait a second. And here's ice on the cake. Lucy Lou Hamer. I am a witty bitch.
It's just the blackest shit I've ever heard in my life. And
it's very black. It's very black.
Extremely.
it
Yes.
just makes me
Bliggity
so
black.
happy.
Super black.
So how about this? Words of wisdom. Go get yourself a cat. They'll change your life.
Mhm.
And give it a black ass name, please.
Yes, and give it a black ass name. All right, well, we will see you in 2 weeks for a new episode. And until then, bye, buddy.
Peace, y'all.